Imagine serving food to millionaires while you can't even afford next month's rent. Now imagine discovering that your late father secretly left you a Bitcoin fortune worth hundreds of millions of dollars hidden inside a forgotten USB drive. Sounds impossible? Well, this is Matthew's story. Matthew was only 22 years old. His father, Roger, had passed away years earlier, leaving him and his mother to face life alone. His mother, Sarah, was a single parent who worked long shifts as a ticket issuer at a local cinema. Every month was the same struggle: rent, electricity bills, groceries. Some months, they barely had enough money to survive. Seeing his mother work so hard broke Matthew's heart. So he took a job as a waiter at one of the most expensive restaurants in the city. This wasn't an ordinary restaurant. Only celebrities, business tycoons, and the city's wealthiest people came here. Matthew spent every evening serving meals that cost more than his family's monthly rent. One night, as he carried a tray through the dining hall, he suddenly froze. Two elderly businessmen sitting in the corner looked strangely familiar. He gathered his courage, walked over, and politely asked, "Excuse me, do you remember me?" The two men looked at him. Matthew smiled nervously. "I'm Matthew, Roger's son." For a moment, neither of them said a word. Then one of them stood up with tears in his eyes. "Matthew, you look exactly like your father." They invited him to sit down. One of the men asked, "How's your mother?" Matthew smiled politely. "She's still working at the cinema. And I'm working here to help pay the bills." Both men stared at him in complete disbelief. One of them slowly shook his head. "Working as a waiter? That's impossible." Matthew looked confused. "What do you mean?" The businessman leaned closer. "We're rich today, because of your father." Matthew blinked. "My father?" The man nodded. "Years ago, Roger introduced us to something called Bitcoin. Back then, it was almost worthless. Everyone laughed at him. But your father believed it would change the world. He convinced us to buy some and never sell it." The second man smiled. "Today, we're millionaires because of Roger." Then he paused, looked Matthew straight in the eyes, and quietly said, "Roger was smarter than both of us. We always believed he bought much more Bitcoin than we ever did." Matthew's heart started racing. Suddenly, a memory came rushing back. Years ago, his mother had shown him an old safe that belonged to Roger. Inside was a small USB drive. She had once said, "Your father told me, never throw this away." Matthew couldn't believe he had forgotten it. Without saying another word, he rushed out of the restaurant, drove home as fast as he could, opened the dusty safe, and there it was, the USB drive. Exactly where his father had left it. With trembling hands, he plugged it into his laptop. The screen displayed encrypted wallet backup. A password box appeared. He tried several passwords. Nothing. Then, he remembered something his father used to say. "Matthew is the greatest gift life ever gave me." His hands shook as he typed. "Matthew," he pressed enter. The screen unlocked. Matthew stared, unable to breathe. A Bitcoin wallet appeared. Balance, 5,200 Bitcoin. He rubbed his eyes, looked again. It was real. His mother walked into the room. "What happened?" Matthew couldn't speak. He simply pointed at the screen. They checked the current Bitcoin price, then multiplied the numbers. The result appeared. Not thousands, not millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. Sarah covered her mouth. Tears streamed down her face, not because of the money, but because Roger had secretly built a future for his family, long before anyone believed Bitcoin had value. Matthew didn't waste the fortune. He hired experts to secure the wallet properly, paid off every debt, bought his mother the home she had dreamed about for years, and in his father's memory, he created a foundation to help struggling families who were fighting the same battles they once faced. Because sometimes, the greatest treasure isn't buried underground. It's hidden inside the love and the foresight of someone who believed in tomorrow. And sometimes, all it takes is one forgotten USB drive to change a life forever.